Thank you, Alex, for inviting me to come. I just got the question about what is JAMPRO, and so I'll just go into the fact that JAMPRO is Jamaica's trade and investment agency. So we deal with business coming into Jamaica, business going out of Jamaica. I'm the manager of the creative industries and the film commissioner, so I deal mostly with fashion, film, and music. And JamaicanMusic.com is one of those initiatives that we have been watching in JAMPRO with great attention. We actually wanted to give them our music site and just decided the best route would be just to link to theirs and call it a day. Because we wanted a site that would look at the history of music and also what's happening in music here now. I know this is the latest in JamaicanMusic.com series of firsts. I believe it's the first Jamaican music site, and Alex can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first Jamaican music site to have an easy, to commit to actually sending out news about the industry. Also, but that's the latest in a series. I know Janelle has also mentioned the fact that it has one of the largest fan bases in Latin America. I didn't know that. I knew it had passed Digicel a while back and still passes Digicel. But I see that it has remained all love between JamaicansMusic.com and Digicel in that they've just announced their web-based app, which is My Music. And so that's another first, a corporate company twinning with a web-based company in Jamaica. That's the first. Then also you have JamaicanMusic.com also was the first one to have a virtual turntable in the world with virtual DJ. And then let us not forget songwriter that I am unfortunately feeling badly at, but I'm going to get better. And most importantly, from a JAMPRO perspective, JamaicansMusic.com launched not in Kingston, not in New York or even London, but launched in Indonesia, showing that a vision to touch reggae communities, the far-flung reggae communities of the world. In essence, I see JamaicanMusic.com as reclaiming reggae for Jamaica. A lot of us we know reggae is global, but we act like it all happens in Kingston. I have a friend of mine who was first introduced to Egyptian through National Public Radio, which is a very unsexy radio station, but it syndicates 790 radio stations in the US and gets to a certain mainstream audience that reggae doesn't usually touch. She heard one song. He did a freestyle rendition of Polio, and since then she's been a committed reggae fan. When you can think of from a business perspective all the different people that are reached by that kind of product, and the fact that we as Jamaicans producing reggae don't actually reach out to those communities. So I have to take off my hat to the fact that Alex did this reggae tour of Asia and had the vision to launch in Indonesia. It shows that we, as Jamaicans, are not only the source of the creativity, but can also be the channel. We have the artists, we name them, Mabado, or Mali, whichever generation you can name, we always had the artists. But do we have the labels? Do we have the publishers? No. And so I see new initiatives coming up, like JamaicansMusic.com as a way to redress that. E-zine is part of that. Previously, when I wanted to have a standard reggae publication, I'd have to get a translator because I don't speak German and get rhythm translated. Now, maybe this is the start of a new reggae publication that is coming out of Jamaica itself. I might sound alarmist, but the fact is, reggae is not the first music that Jamaica has given to the world. We gave ska as well. I live near Toots. I think Toots is a nice man. But to my friends on the northeast of the US, on the west coast, in the UK, Toots animated superstar status. And ska is no longer ours. It's a global form of music, and we are no longer the innovators in that field. And we don't want to see that happen to reggae, which is so important for us to own those channels, labels, magazines, etc., and to keep that flowing. Now, I looked at Jamaicans.music.com today, saw the profiles of the record labels, saw the producers, saw the explanation of Jamaican culture, and was very happy with Jampro's decision to actually just link to JamaicансMusic.com rather than try and recreate the wheel again. But, you know, last week they launched JADIO, which is a Jamaican online radio station. And we do have a number of other online radio stations. But JamaicансMusic.com has decided that its audience is Kingston, Bridgetown, Port of Spain, London, Jakarta, the whole 9 yards. And this is truly a way of acting locally and thinking globally, and that's what we need to do. We need to go back and realize that reggae is ours, and reggae is also a global form of music. It supports a whole ecosystem from soup vendors to producers to press, etc. But it also supports a whole other level of industry outside of Jamaica. So myself, I'm glad to be at this launch, and I support the publication of iZine, and I'm going to negotiate with Alex that I can actually get it coming very regularly to my computer. But I also look forward to the other JamaicансMusic.com launches that I'm sure to be invited to. So I'm hinting at, you know, JamaicансMusic.com studio, JamaicансMusic.com label, and ask that Alex come to us if he needs any help. And thank you all for being part of this moment. And now, I move on to the rest of the activities. But I just would like to note that Jampro fully supports JamaicансMusic.com, and to invite the rest of you to actually come and talk to us about anything you want to do to get out internationally, especially leading up to London 2012, which Jamaica is going to be one of the hottest brands coming out of that. And now to the rest of the activities. I understand that I have to introduce. Oh, and I'm also reminded that I should note the other entrepreneur involved, eZines Limited, who I also am a reader of. I think it's what is Money and Style, yeah. So I get that, read it conscientiously. So as well, thank you, Tyrone. And now we move on to Conqueror. Oh, Janelle, sorry about that.